Okay, hi there, Yerd. So we're going to continue on our journey about writing in a yearbook. And previous video we talked about how to conduct a great interview. So now we're going to talk about one of the ways that we take that great interview and we put it into the book, and that is with captions. So captions are our writing bread and butter. They make up quite a lot of the book. We don't write as many body copies as we do captions. So while our writers might take the lead on writing our body copies or our extended, stories, I would like everyone on staff to feel comfortable in being able to write a caption, and you should be able to write a caption, and it's fairly easy. So we'll talk about captions today. We'll also give you guys a template. That way it makes it really, really easy for you guys to feel comfortable putting your voice and your writing inside of the book. So let's get started. So your goal with this video and your notes, you should learn the 3 types of captions that are contained within a yearbook, and then you should understand stylistically some of the no-nos and the go-go's for writing captions in our yearbook, and those should also be in your notes. So I'll try and get this video down under 10 minutes, no promising. Otherwise I might also cut it into 2 videos, that way we break it up a little bit. So first kind of caption that we have is what we call an indent caption, and what this is it's brief identification of the subjects in the photo. So here you can see these are 3 different examples of how you can perform an indent caption. Stylistically in a yearbook, the copywriter and the editor should decide what particular style they want to run with, and then we keep with that style of writing, that style of indent captions throughout the book. So if it's this way, they should all look like this, or if it's this way, they should all look like this. The only difference between this, and this is we're adding a little bit more information with each one. So you can see this one has a little mini headline, this one has a little bitty headline, and then a little bit more information about the subjects and their relationship. But all 3 of these are considered indent captions. The next kind of caption that we have is what we call a summary caption. So this one is kind of extending that indent caption, but here we answer the 5 W's and an H, how. So who, what, when, where, and how are answered in your summary captions. However, a summary caption does not have a quote from anyone in the photo or anyone that can give some information about the story. So again, we have a title, and then we have the students' names contained within the summary caption, but the writer has also answered the 5 W's and the H, and that's so the reader has more information. Summary caption has more information and is longer than an indent caption. So moving on, we have expanded captions. So lately in our yearbook, we've been doing expanded captions for every single one of the photos. And that's all well and good. So it's basically a summary caption with more information and more insight. This also contains quotes, direct quotes from either who is pictured in the photo or quotes from someone who can give some more insight about the story. So again, our goal is to answer the 5 W's and the H, but a expanded caption is longer and it has quotes. Okay, so some caption quick thoughts. Before you ever write a caption, you should sit down and have a conversation with the person that you want to write the caption for. Interviewing. We don't make something up. We don't ever think that we know what is going on with a photo. We want to sit down and have a conversation with someone for every single caption that we're going to write in the book, whether it's indent, summary, or expanded. Types of captions. For full expanded captions, usually those only are used with a dominant photo. One sentence summary captions, those go with a cluster or a module of photos. Name ID or indent captions are commonly used for sidebars and candid photos. So just real quick, who is it? What is pictured here? Just really fast IDing. Also, when you don't have a whole bunch of space, an indent caption is perfectly appropriate to use. And then group photo IDs for club and team photos. So that's where you have this big long caption that's just person's name, year, person's name, year, person's name, year. That's what group photo ID is used for. So some more caption quick thoughts. When we have a module for the same event, we should really only do one big long expanded caption and then maybe use summaries or indent captions for the rest of the modules. And that's because if you do an expanded caption, you're answering all the questions that a viewer might have. And if you do that for every single photo, it might get redundant. It might be like the same thing over and over and over and over again because you're telling the same story over and over and over again. At the end of every caption, we should always give photo credit for who took the photo that the caption is pertaining to. And that belongs at the end of the caption, and stylistically we'll show you what that should look like for this particular year. And we don't ever want to write captions until we've locked in our pictures. Again, photographers, you got to make those selections along with your team, and then you guys all need to move on to picking out which ones are going to go on the spreads, and then sending out those call cards for bringing in people so you can conduct interviews to write your captions. So you don't write captions until you've picked out your pictures because, again, you don't want to do all that work and then not ever use that picture. Kind of makes sense. All right, so some caption no-nos. You don't do this. You may not start with a name. So we don't ever start with a name. We always want to bring someone in with some additional information or an interesting lead, which we'll talk about in a future video about how to write captivating leads. We don't ever start with an ing, like skiing, swimming, running, things like that. We don't want to start with an obvious phrase, like if you have a picture of a person drawing, pencil in hand is Ms. Weidkamp, you know, something like that. Like, you don't want to tell your viewer what they can see with their own eyes. It's kind of slapping over the head and saying, hey, you're not smart enough to figure this out. If you can tell that information from the photo, you don't need to write it in the caption. You don't need to quote facts, and we don't want to repeat some of the same words that we use in the heading or the first sentence. So what we write in the caption body, we don't want to have those same words, those same phrases, if we've already used them in the headline or the lead-in sentence. So once they're used, don't repeat. Okay, some more caption no-nos. Don't state the year, the name of the school, the name of the publication, or the mascot. If it's in the Wood Creek High School yearbook, you know you're at Wood Creek High School. If it's the 2018 yearbook, you know it's the 2018 year. So those things, again, should be obvious because they're contained within our specific publication of that specific year. So don't say them in the caption or anywhere in your writing in the book. We don't want to use adverbs or ly words because they're weak words they're like crutches for your verbs. If it's not good enough to stand on its own without ly, then you need to find a different word. We don't ever state our opinions. We're reporting. We are not giving our opinions on pieces. It's stating facts and what actually happened, not our own thoughts about the matter. And we don't ever want to use very. It's very boring, and you can use better words to describe very cold, frigid, very hot, scalding, you know, things like that. So we want to find different words to use as those connections when we say like very fast, speedy, I don't know, things like that. All right, some caption go-go's. Always make sure names are spelled correctly. ID all people in the photo up to 6 people though. If it's over 6, then we just want to do the key players. When we ID, we move left to right. That's because that's the way that we read things, and we don't need to use directional terms because in America, we kind of read things left to right, and we know that because of the way things are commonly structured. Okay, some more caption go-go's. You should ID players on the opposing team. That's fairly easy. We go on to Max Preps, or we can email over to their school site, but we should ID the players that are shown in a photo for the other team. We should give the outcome of the play. Generally, all the people that you interview, like a sports player, they'll tell you what the outcome is. They know. If not, we can talk to the coach. You want to use stats from the game for the second sentence of the caption if it's one of those summary or extended captions. Name the group as heading for organization, sports, and group photos. ID in rows, use front row, second row, etc. if you're going to kind of break it down into rows. And that's really with our very, very large group photos like Key Club, CSF. And use a period at the end of the row to kind of finalize it. All right, Eards, I know I hopefully made it under 10 minutes, we'll see. Make sure you have really great notes. Do remember that you can pause me, rewind me, so you can go back and make sure you have all those no-nos, go-go's, and the 3 different caption types. Okay, bye guys. We'll practice writing captions later. Talk to you guys later.